Storytelling in a single frame is one of the defining challenges and rewards of street photography. Unlike video or written narrative, a photograph has no before or after. Everything the viewer needs to feel and understand must exist within one moment. A strong single frame does not explain everything. It invites the viewer to imagine context, emotion, and meaning beyond what is visible. This invitation is what turns an image into a story rather than a document. Storytelling begins with intent. Before pressing the shutter, ask what is happening emotionally or socially in front of you. A story can be small. A moment of waiting, a brief interaction, a quiet contrast. Not every story needs drama. Context is essential. A subject alone rarely tells a complete story. Surroundings provide clues. Environment, objects, signage, and other people help the viewer understand where the moment exists and why it matters. Context turns a person into a narrative. Relationships within the frame drive storytelling. A glance between strangers, a person contrasted against their environment, a gesture echoed by a background element. These relationships create meaning without words. Timing shapes narrative. The exact moment you choose changes the story entirely. A fraction of a second can shift an image from neutral to emotional. Anticipation allows you to capture moments when gesture, expression, and context align. Composition supports clarity. The viewer should know where to look first, then where to look next. Visual flow guides attention through the story. Confusing composition weakens narrative, even if the moment is strong. Emotion anchors the story. Viewers connect most strongly to images that reflect feelings they recognize: joy, isolation, tension, curiosity, fatigue. These emotions make the story personal rather than abstract. Ambiguity can be powerful. A single frame does not need to answer every question. Leaving space for interpretation invites deeper engagement. Viewers bring their own experiences into the image, completing the story themselves. Symbolism often strengthens storytelling. Reflections, shadows, signage, or repeated patterns can add layers of meaning. These elements work quietly, enriching the narrative without overwhelming it. Distance and perspective affect how the story feels. Close perspectives feel intimate and personal. Wider views feel observational and contextual. Choose based on how involved you want the viewer to feel. Editing decisions should protect the story. Cropping, contrast, and color choices should emphasize meaning, not distract from it. Overprocessing can flatten emotion and reduce credibility. Not every photograph needs to tell a complex story. Simple stories are often the most powerful. A clear moment, well seen, resonates longer than a complicated frame without focus. Learning to tell stories in a single frame requires reflection. Review your images and ask what story they suggest. If the answer is unclear, examine why. This feedback loop strengthens intuition. Over time, storytelling becomes instinctive. You stop thinking in terms of objects and start thinking in terms of moments and meaning. The camera becomes a tool for translation rather than capture. Street photography thrives on these small, complete stories. When you master storytelling in a single frame, each photograph stands on its own while contributing to a larger body of work. A single frame cannot tell every story, but it can tell one truth. When that truth is felt, the photograph stays with the viewer long after they look away.